Assalamualaikum and happy day. I repeat to everyone, and today I would like to present my research entitled The Effectiveness of Using Pictures in Understanding Vocabulary among Year 5 pupils in the ESL classroom. First and foremost, we will start with the problem statements. So, as we know, vocabulary is one of the most crucial keys needed in language learning, and without the proper knowledge of the vocabulary, the learners will find it hard to understanding and comprehend the meaning of the vocabulary. So, there are many studies that have proposed that there was poor vocabulary learning among pupils, which we can see here there are three main reasons on why the difficulty in understanding the vocabulary is poor. So the first one is that the English language is not being exposed and used enough, because the students only use English in classroom, and that the students only view that knowledge is all about memorizing and ignore the understanding part. As you are familiar, in Malaysia, exam-oriented is implemented, so for the students, it is important to memorize and vomit all the memorization during the exam and ignore the understanding process. And the last one is that the written form is different from the spoken form. Okay, so we're moving on to the research objective. So the study aims to seek the effectiveness of the use of pictures in understanding the vocabulary among the 5 pupils in the ESL classroom. So the objective are to determine whether the use of pictures help the pupils among year 5 in understanding the vocabulary, and to examine to what extent does the use of pictures improve the pupils' vocabulary comprehensions. Okay. Therefore, the research questions are to posit the answers of the questions below, which are: how do pictures help in understanding the vocabulary among the pupils, and also to seek to what extent does the use of pictures support the understanding of the vocabulary. Okay, besides in this study, there are 3 research theories used in order to seek the effectiveness of the pictures used in promoting vocabulary, which are the Stephen Krashen's input hypothesis, Mary Swain's output hypothesis, and the last one is that Thomas S's vocabulary acquisition model. So the first one is the input hypothesis, which is a necessary but not sufficient conditions to move from I to stage I plus 1 is that the acquirer understands input that contains I plus 1, where understands means that the acquirer is focused on the meaning and not the form of the message. So the input hypothesis is happening because of the comprehensible input where the learners obtained, and that the teachers is helping the students to enhance what they already know and to improve and add on the additional information using the pictures presented, because the teachers must have presented the pictures related to what they learned. So during this process, the incidental learning is occur for the learners, as the learning takes place without the learner's conscious. Moreover, the students' attention is not to focus on the language, but instead to understand the materials they engage with. Okay, next one is that Mary Swain's output hypothesis, which is defined as the act of producing language. Speaking and writing constitutes, under certain circumstances, part of the process of second language learning. Okay, here the output hypothesis happen when the learners try to apply and utilize the vocabulary gained during the lesson before. Okay, and that during this stage also the teachers give follow-up activities related to vocabulary learned through pictures. So here the teachers can properly evaluate the pupils' performance and improvement after the vocabulary learning. Okay, and the last theory is that in this study it used the vocabulary acquisition model. So in order to ensure the input and output hypotheses are best utilized while using the pictures to teach the vocabulary, deep understanding is crucial for the teacher to evaluate the pupil's capability and potential when learning English as the second language, which in these models it helps in assisting the vocabulary understanding. Okay, next we move on to the methodology of the research, which is, there are 3 points that I want to emphasize, which are the participants, data collections, and also data analysis. Okay, so for the participants, there were the 3 selected Year 5 pupils, which consists of different background and proficiency level, and the 3 trained teachers whom studied at the International Language Teachers Training Institute, which had exposed to the use of pictures in the classroom and at least had utilized it once during the teaching and learning sessions. Okay, the data collections, 3 instruments, which are the interview, the opinions as well as the experience. Okay, for the trained teachers, the interviews were categorized into 3, which are utilizations of the pictures in the classroom, the utility of pictures used in vocabulary understanding, and the limitations faced when using pictures in lessons. Okay, meanwhile, for the selected pupils, the center point of the interviews were about the pupils' view and opinion on the pictures used in the classroom to comprehend the vocabulary presented. Okay, and building sessions and document analysis of the pupils' work were collected to analyze the output of the use of pictures in comprehending the vocabulary introduced. Okay, for the data analysis, the data are derived from the 3 instruments earlier, and it had been analyzed based on the research procedures and the process of data analysis by Creswell in order to ensure the procedures had been properly organized and planned. Okay, next we move on to the research findings. Okay, so based on the research questions laid out, the answer were found out through the data collections. Okay, the first questions: how do pictures help in understanding the vocabulary in the classroom? So I've collected the use of pictures help in promoting better understanding. So based on the interviews done, our teacher trainees said that they use pictures as the tools for it is the pupils comprehend to make sense of the vocabulary thoughts. The teacher said that because of the multiple intelligence in the classroom, which consists of high, middle, and low proficiency level, the teachers also mentioned that the pictures promote better imaginations as the pupils able to connect the meaning between the pictures and the words, which help them to visualize things and make sense of the vocabulary introductions. Meanwhile, the students also mentions that pictures are interesting and attract them to learn. Okay, next because the use of pictures also help the pupils' engagements during the teaching and learning sessions, because this can be seen during the observations where the pupils show great and positive reactions throughout the lessons, and they actively through opinions and responses based on the pictures presented. Okay, meanwhile, for the questions 2, which is to what extent does the usage of pictures support the understanding of vocabulary? Okay, from the researcher, it does have limitations when using pictures in vocabulary teaching because of the searching in searching the suitable and accurate pictures that are able to shield all the multiple intelligence in the classroom. It is very hard and time consuming, and that too many pictures used might confuse the pupils as they need to match the pictures and the words and understanding the meaning. Okay, and that the teachers had to find another approach to explain certain vocabulary that could not be explained through pictures. So this is very hard, and that limit the potentials of the pictures. Okay, so last but not least, from this study, I can conclude that pictures help the learners to memorize the words easily, attract them to engage during lessons, create entertainment for the colorful pictures showed and used, and also that spark their motivation to learn, especially in English language. And that there are several suggestions that I've made in using pictures in vocabulary understanding, which are to teach within the context, use appropriate techniques, and that utilize the pictures in various ways, such as games and flashcards, to make it more interesting. And that from this research, the implications that I found was that the appropriate and interesting pictures can be found in one click. It's very easy, and also that as teacher we can gain new skills to teach, using the pictures, and is that foster a fresh and fun lessons. So that's all from me. Thank you.